There's a couple items I did want to talk with you before we got too much of the day going, so if you had a couple minutes, I had a few big picture words. Big picture today, we have canceled OTC2 burn. We are replacing it with some maneuvers and a checkout of the wastewater dump. So at 18:35, about 30 minutes from now, we're going to maneuver to an attitude that will put the sun onto that wastewater vent line. We have increased the heater temperatures on the nozzle and the lines themselves, and we're hoping that if the problem is the freezing of the vent lines, why we couldn't do the wastewater dump last night, then this will give us a chance to see if we were able to solve that.
This is Artemis Mission Control. Mission elapsed time, 2 days, 18 hours, 45 minutes into the flight of Artemis 2, the first flight of humans aboard the Orion spacecraft. You're getting a live look outside Orion right now. The teams are maneuvering the spacecraft in the solar array wings. As you heard earlier, we are not having the outbound trajectory correction burn today. This was deemed unnecessary and has no impact to the mission or the lunar flyby. The translunar injection burn put the vehicle on the correct path back on flight day 2, and therefore the team and mission control agreed that we could skip both outbound trajectory correction burn 1 as well as that second burn today. Skipping that second burn also allows the team to continue troubleshooting some of the universal waste management system issues that cropped up last night. There was a wastewater dump planned last night, a very routine and regularly scheduled action, and it terminated after only dumping 3%. So the wastewater tank is not currently full. It is at 64% with a limit of 80%, but the crew was instructed to use backup collection devices overnight if they needed. Part of the reason for reorienting the spacecraft today is to allow it to be in the sun, specifically where the primary vent nozzle is. They are hoping that spending some time in the sun will help thaw out potential ice that may be on that vent nozzle. Meanwhile, inside the Orion spacecraft, our crew just woke up. That wake up coming at 11:35 a.m. Central Time.
We have a small request for you guys. With this attitude that we're using for the bakeout, we're getting the sun on the window shades, and we're a little worried about them heating up too much. We would like to request that you please remove the window shades. We understand that will make it awfully bright for you guys, and we want to encourage you to use a t-shirt in the cabin or something similar if needed to block out that sunlight. But the shades will help us with the temperature constraint on the windows. Reed, we love that description. And first off, thanks to the Integrity crew for working on the weekend. So are we, but we are happy to do it. I want to start by asking if you would like to turn on the HHP camera for DPC, because if so, we'd love it.
Yeah, we will work on that right now. It might just take us a minute, and I'll try to start routing the video.
This is Artemis Mission Control. You're getting a live look inside the Orion spacecraft, named Integrity by the Artemis II crew. They are setting up for a public affairs event. Today they'll be speaking with NBC and CBS.
Integrity, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, from inside Integrity, we are ready for the event.
NBC News, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call Integrity for a voice check.
Integrity, this is Tom Costello with NBC News. Are you hearing us okay?
Hey, Tom, it's great to hear your voice all the way up here, 155,000 nautical miles from Earth. How are you doing?
I'm well. Congratulations on your mission so far. I'm told this is the farthest interview ever conducted in history, and I'm wondering, how does it feel right now to be in a place that nobody has been since 1972?
Honestly, it is unbelievable that we in 1972, just being up here and seeing how difficult this is and how hard the team is working. We do have a little bit of echo on your call. We'll try to turn it down when we're answering, but this is a magnificent accomplishment to be up here, to see the moon, to see the Earth, and to know that we are between those two celestial bodies, and you can see it when you look out the window. The Earth is almost in full eclipse, the moon is almost in full daylight, and the only way you could get that view is to be halfway between the two entities. It is truly awe-inspiring up here.
I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
This is Artemis Mission Control at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. We have now reached exactly 3 days since the launch of Orion. You just heard the call to the crew that the solar arrays are in motion. Ahead of taking a photo, we're looking to get a picture of the crew in the windows of Orion. Photos are the priority of this event, so we'll stand by to see if we still have streaming, but regardless, we will be very excited to share those photos with you as soon as we possibly can. Make sure you follow NASA and NASA Artemis on all social media. That would be at NASA and at NASA Artemis.
Integrity Houston, our saws are in position to take this family portrait. So sometime in the next few minutes, we'd love to invite you to the windows to get it done. Thanks. All right, everybody, we're taking the picture, so say cheese and stay still for about 30 seconds while we perform this photography bracket from the saws.
Okay, we'll freeze in 3, 2, 1, mark.
The Integrated Communications Officer, or INCO, is helping take this picture of the crew aboard the Orion spacecraft, now all smiling in the windows of the place they've called home. We've had some great views both inside the spacecraft as well as outside, but this is the first time that we're getting to see the crew and the spacecraft in the same photo. As mentioned previously, we are taking pictures right now, so the streaming quality isn't as great. We look forward to sharing these pictures as soon as we possibly can, and make sure you follow NASA and NASA Artemis on social media.
It's taken a little longer than we thought. Thanks for holding. great. Thank you so much. We all look forward to getting your Christmas card come December. Thanks.
On your screen, a live view of the Orion spacecraft looking at the moon, our destination, now 96,575 miles away. On the left side of your screen is Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen, and to his right, NASA astronaut Christina Cook. During this demonstration, the crew will be able to manually pilot Orion once again and test its 6 degree of freedom and 3 degree of freedom. If you look closely in the background, you can see NASA astronaut and pilot Victor Glover filming part of this demonstration.
All right, and just giving you some handling qualities here for the yaw. Everything was nominal. I noted that with this warp mount, it does have some play in it as we knew, and so just applying some downward force to try and make sure you don't get coupling.
And currently on your screen, you can see CSA astronauts as they continue through the and right, and 3 rotational degrees of freedom, which are roll, pitch, and yaw.
Okay, I'm going to make a comment on the pitch up. There was some roll there. I tried a different technique where I actually kind of held the orb mount at the high end of its play rather than pressing down at the low end since I was pitching up. But I think that actually made it a little bit harder to keep the roll coupling out. So for pitch down, I'll go ahead and hold it at the bottom of its play. So in this, again, in the direction, in this case, of the pitch.
Copy all.
And Houston, we have some Earth and Moon viewers here who are putting in requests for different motions so that they can see things in the window.
We're seeing them in the camera views and we're enjoying it. Look at those scientists go.
Not too long ago, they did surpass the 2/3 mark as they continue to close in on the moon, and they are expected to make that closest approach and their lunar flyby on flight day 6 coming up on April 6th.
Absolutely. One of the neat things that I'm seeing right now is in the sort of largest Mare field, the one that sort of makes up most of the very western side of what you can see on the near side. There is a giant, it's much more obvious now that one
we copied all of Victor's Oriental observations. That sounds amazing. And we think, based on your description of the basin that you saw, that is Imbrium.
Yes, that sounds right. I've never noticed that Imbrium has such a distinctive high albedo ring defining it. Also worth mentioning, we do apparently have a full moon. We can't detect any terminator at all. It looks like full limb all the way around.
And Jackie, we got Jeremy on there just for a minute before his PAO event. He's just got to look at this. As soon as I put my hands on the 400, it's just, you know, I'm not one for hyperbole, but it's the only thing I could come up with. Just seeing Tycho, there's mountains to the north. You can see Copernicus, Rainier Gamma. It's just everything from the training, but in 3D and absolutely unbelievable. This is incredible.
Kathy Moonjoy.
And Houston, I can tell you that Christina now has the 400 millimeter, and she also is the queen of hyperbole. It's incredible.
Wow.
Kathy, Christina doing her best read impression at the window.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one kind of correction to what I mentioned before. I do think that we have a terminator. It is on the far western edge. It's not actually a limb. It's on the terminator all along what it's basically almost in the same places where you would imagine the limb to be. But it's very high albedo, as you would expect from the far side, and you can see the topography all along the terminator. It's awesome. Houston, integrity for altitude reference change moment.
Go ahead.
Jackie, with that incredible viewing behind us of our destination in the near term, we hereby change our DU PFD altitude reference from Earth to Moon. We are currently 76,362 nautical miles from the Moon. And from Earth, we had been 168,000 nautical miles.
Houston copies.
This is Mission Control Houston at a mission elapsed time of 3 days, 13 hours, 51 minutes and counting. away from Earth and 72,000 miles away from the moon. While the crew is currently in their sleep period, we will continue to provide live updates here from Mission Control during our 24/7 continuous coverage.
We're doing Central since it's kind of like in between us. That way it's fair. Yeah. I mean, normally I go first to 5, so let's do first to 5 on each. No, I haven't slept yet, so we're all good. Like, I'm tired as shit. We'll find out. Bro, I'm so used to just like I have to play a certain way when it comes to like being on higher ping. Holy cow. That somehow's not my cone? I thought that was my cone. Yeah, there, that I was standing. I thought that was my cone. Apparently it wasn't. Do we count that or no? That should have killed you, I'm not gonna lie. Nah, I hit you for like 80. That should have killed you, though. GG's on Central. Get your servers out the way. Back out. I promote you. We'll see. I'm just used to keying people at this point. So on high ping, I'm like unable to key people as well as I could on like low ping. Like my shotgun blinked you like one time. Fuck. Yeah, like I have my crosshair on you. It's just like I guess I missed. That was too damn close. Like, honestly, I thought you were gonna hit me through the wall whenever I did like that resetting shit. Okay. Uh, GG's. Alright, promote me so we can play on East. This is where it's gonna get hard for you or me, depending on how well you play. I mean, I was already struggling. Like, I got like one on like Central and West, which is a lot better than I did back then. I mean,
coverage of the Artemis 2 mission. At a mission elapsed time of 3 days, 14 hours, 9 minutes and counting, the crew is currently in their sleep period. The crew wake is just about 3 hours and 5 minutes from now. Orion is currently 208,000 miles away from Earth and 71,000 miles and counting away from the moon. Now, coming up in Flight Day 5, the crew is going to be doing another detailed flight test objective. This is called the Suits Flight Test Objective. This is part 1. There will be a part 2 as well for over the course of the day, but basically what they're going to be doing is completing some final steps for the Orion crew survival suit. It's a developmental flight test objective, as I mentioned, and the majority of this DFTO involved rapid and normal donning or putting on of the Orion suit. Then they pressurized it and did various tests to evaluate the suited nutrition consumption, so how they're eating. They practiced seat installation and tool usage, among others. These types of detailed flight test objectives help us learn a little bit about how these systems and tools perform in deep space. Now, you might remember these suits because before the crew launched, they suited up in these bright orange suits, again called the OX suits, or the Orion Crew Survival System suits. It's a spacesuit worn inside NASA's Orion spacecraft and helps protect the astronauts on launch day in emergency situations and throughout high-risk parts of the mission near the moon, and especially during that high-speed return to Earth. It's managed by a team in a lab here at NASA's Johnson Space Center, and each suit is tailored to the crew member's anatomy and includes systems for air, food, waste, and water management.
GG's, bro.
In the event of an emergency, the OX suits are engineered to sustain life for up to 6 days. During the Artemis 2 mission, the astronauts are going to practice, like I mentioned, donning and doffing these suits in weightlessness. This means putting them on and taking them off. They are going to experience this suit in a pressurized environment and confirm that its performance for long-duration space flight survival or confirm its performance for long-duration survival. Now let's take a look at how the Artemis 2 crew dresses for space.
The Artemis 2 mission will be a 10-day mission to the moon and back. The purpose of this mission is primarily to test out the Orion spacecraft for the future missions where we will go and land on the lunar surface. One of the fun things that we will actually be doing is donning the suits while we're in microgravity and actually experiencing them in the true pressurized weightless environment in the vehicle. I'm Dustin Gomert. I'm the Orion Crew Survival System Manager, NASA Johnson Space Center, and this is how you dress for space. The team here at Johnson Space Center in the Orion Crew Survival Systems Lab does pretty much everything involved with processing the suits, designing the suits, qualifying them for the Orion mission. The Orion Crew Survival System, OCSS or OX, is the suit designed to keep the crew safe in an atmosphere, personal atmosphere around their body for launch, entry, landing, but also for long duration events in case there was an emergency on the way to the moon. There's several unique parameters that have to be designed in such a suit, such as how much pressure it can hold, the duration it can hold the pressure for, the amount of leakage that comes out of the suit, all the physiological functions. Each suit that the crew wears is custom built for their unique anatomy. It's your personal environment, it's a personal pressure vessel. It's, in the simplest terms, a body-shaped balloon. Each fit check, the crew gets practice donning and doffing the suit to understand how to rapidly get the suit on in the event of an emergency. The suit is put on very much like any other garment. Instead of the zipper being in the front, it's in the back though. The pants are put on very much just like any pair of pants, and then you would climb into the suit and stand up. Your head will come through the neck ring, and the suit is effectively donned. Generally, you get a buddy to help you zip it up from behind, and then you can don your gloves, your helmet, and at that point, you're effectively sealed inside the suit. You may think you recognize the suit that we're designing from its heritage in the shuttle program. There There is very much similarities between this suit and that flown in the shuttle, the Advanced Crew Escape Suit. The Ox suit, however, is very specifically designed for its unique mission. And this unique mission is long-duration survival in the space capsule environment. In this context, if you're circling the moon or in transit to the moon and have to do a spin around to come back, it could take up to 6 days to return home. In this case, the suit has to be designed perfect to the occupant wearing